Darren,
Uh-huh.
you're homeless in Grants Pass.
Yes.
You live in one of these tents.
Yes.
How long have you been outside?
This time, not quite around a year and a half.
And tell us about, because you have to move tomorrow.
Yeah.
And what happens if you don't move?
If you're here, I think they'll give you about a day's leeway, but if you're here like 24 hours after you're supposed to be gone, they'll give you a ticket.
And the ticket then turns into...
You mean like going to court kind of municipal stuff? Yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
You can't pay the ticket.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
You're homeless.
Yeah.
And
It's going to be on record for sure, yeah.
And then you makes it harder to get a job.
Right.
If you could work.
Right,
you're disabled.
Right.
How many tickets have you had?
I'm going to say I've been pretty lucky. I've had 2, but they were for minor things. Like I stayed in one park. I was new at the time, still learning the rules and the ropes. And I stayed in one park for like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and I got a ticket for being there for too long. That's when I learned the 3-day rule. And then another time I got a ticket for smoking cigarettes in my tent.
Smoking in your tent?
Yeah.
Because I met somebody over here that got a ticket for his tent was too big.
Right. Yeah, they'll do that as well.
Yeah, and how many times have you had to move? Because you got to move every 3 or 5 days, right?
Yeah, 3 to 4, yeah. Because like we're on a certain rotation with this group that we're with, but normally you get your citation and that gives you 3 days to move. And whatever day you got it, you have 3 days till then. The group I'm with has a specific set day rotation. It's a little different. Yeah, you're moving every 3 to 4 days. I've been out here, not like I say, just around a year and a half. So basically 2 moves a week. That's 8 moves a month. Do the math.
The math is insane because there's no support for you guys. So they're just pushing you park to park.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. No, and the bad part is they have plenty of land around here that they could donate or zone for or whatever they have to do to give us land to actually be on, so we didn't have to do that, but they don't want to be bothered with doing it.
Now, last time we were here, there was teenagers that came that were violent. And even hit a woman in the head when she was getting out of her tent.
Yeah.
And you're saying that people come down here all the time, take videos, and post them on Facebook.
And there's another couple of them that are specific for that Grants Pass Watch, Park Watch.
And they're haters.
Yeah.
They just hate homeless people.
Yeah. They do anything and everything they can to antagonize and just make things all the more uncomfortable, etc.
Without pushing for solutions.
Right.
Because if there was a shelter that provided decency and dignity.
Right.
That didn't force religious programming.
Right. We shall remain nameless.
Yeah. Well,
everybody knows, but
yeah. Well, the only shelter in town forces religious programming.
Right.
So, you guys would go in a shelter, or even better yet, housing. If there was housing, you would not see any encampments.
Or at least a whole lot less. Yeah,
a whole lot less. As many as housing.
Yeah.
Now, how did you end up homeless?
Through circumstances that were basically beyond my control. About here?
Yeah.
Okay.
The sun keeps on moving on us.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying to keep you in the shade.
Just watch your backside.
Oh, yeah. Landmine?
So how did I end up homeless? Well, I'm working on 56. I have my fair share of mental and physical health problems that have kept me kind of out of the work cycle for a number of years. I'm fighting to get my own personal Social Security, but I had family die in the last 6 years that I lost 3 households worth of furniture and TVs and all that. I lost a mobile home, 3 cars. Any and all bank accounts were not mine to claim. I can't work, so I ended up having no more family to be with, and I'm out here.
Now, how do you survive out here?
By the luck of your teeth.
And explain that.
I myself, like I said, I am not inclined to be what some might call a survivalist. I was indoors most of my life.
I wouldn't.
I have to kind of, what's the wording? Trust in the friendships that I've made to help me. Right. I myself out here alone, I'd be in bad shape.
Yeah. I'm with you because if I ended up homeless again, which is a reality.
Right.
And people often say, well, go into the woods and survive or live on a farm and grow you. I would die, right?
I was raised behind a computer. I don't know survival.
Right.
But I'm doing my best. I've been surviving okay. Some days you go hungry. Some days are good and you get fed twice. The good days when you can get down to the sobering center and get a shower, and get some laundry done, But otherwise, you just do what you got to do and survive and hope somebody doesn't decide to stab you in the back.
Yeah. I mean, because you have to every day find water.
Yeah.
Earlier, you're saying that this encampment is out of toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's a serious crisis.
Yeah. And on top of that, we only have the one urinal for, how many people that are in one place at a time.
Yeah.
They should at least have 2 urinals, a men's and a women's. That would solve at least half the problem.
Yeah.
Small things like that, they don't bother. Yeah. They don't bother.
Well, from my experience, the public doesn't see homeless people as human.
Yeah. No, we're vermin. We're a virus. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, male, female. They see you as the blight of the earth, and you should be shot in the head and swept under the rug, and they just assume that, then find the solution to the problem.
Right.
Like I said, then you have your people watchers, your haters, whatever word you care to use, that have their special websites, and they come through and they'll video and they'll take pictures and think they have every right under their amendments and so on and so forth. And they go and they post, and who knows what I haven't ever seen these websites myself. But they're just haters posting hater stuff.
Well, there is a right. Anybody in public is fair game.
Right.
For me, I won't videotape or photograph without their permission.
Right.
But what they're doing is trying to shame homeless people as if that's going to influence anybody to do anything except hate you guys more.
Right.
I don't know if, that's... more hate is not going to solve this crisis.
It doesn't help. No, it does not help.
You guys need shelters that provide dignity and housing.
Well, I'm sure you've already heard the story of Josephine County and the donation they denied.
Yes, it's in our documentary, which I will link before.
Yeah. I mean, $8 million-ish to help out, and they say, nah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on,
Right.
You're a government. You're a city council. You're this. You don't do that and then pretend to just not have a problem. And
Right.
you have a civic duty to do something about it. And you were handed money and said no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What? Right. Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane.
I mean, the money that they're paying police to push you guys around.
Right.
And the police. I mean, there's things the police could be doing that could better help the community.
Right. Well,
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I came up with this idea a few days ago, actually, that I would honestly love to get some kind of nationwide, not survey, but petition to have the words "to protect and serve" taken off all police cars.
Oh, wow.
Because they do not protect and serve anymore. Police are terrorists, in my opinion.
Wow.
For the most part.
Yep.
They have their uses, they have their moments, but in this situation, they're terrorists.
Yeah. If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
That's a loaded question. 3 wishes. Better health, enough money to live comfortably, and a nice wife.
Thank you very much for talking to me.
Yeah. You're welcome. Bye.